Bleu de Chanel L'Exclusif is an ambery, woody, spicy animalic fragrance. It has main notes of woods, amber, labdanum, and sandalwood. So for a long time, I only owned one fragrance. It was Bleu de Chanel EDT. So I have a lot of scent memories associated with this line, and it holds a special place in my heart. And for that reason, I was heavily anticipating the release of this fragrance, and it doesn't disappoint. So I was at Macy's today and I was testing it on my skin before I bought it. And my first impression was it's most closely associated with the Parfum version of Bleu de Chanel, mixed with Ralph's Club Elixir, interestingly enough. And that's really only in the opening, and I'll get into that later. But my other first impression was just how heavily concentrated it is because I was wearing Bleu de Chanel Parfum just the other day in anticipation for this release. And this one just seems so much more heavily concentrated despite being listed as a Parfum concentration, the same as Bleu de Chanel Parfum. And I feel like they could have gotten away with calling this one an extrait de Parfum based on how oily and heavily concentrated it is because it's pretty crazy. And I feel like this is a really nice natural evolution in the Bleu de Chanel line, and it fits right in. It picks up right where the Parfum left off. Whereas something like Sauvage Elixir feels like a total deviation from the line and doesn't really fit in with the Sauvage line, this one feels like it fits right in with the Bleu de Chanel line. And it feels like what a real flanker should be. It's what you would expect. It's more heavily concentrated, it's darker, deeper, richer, more complex. And as it gets further into the dry down, that association with Ralph's Club Elixir becomes less and less, and it becomes more of its own thing. It becomes more of like a mix of Bleu de Chanel Parfum with a really resinous, ambery touch. And there also is a listed note of leather, but don't be afraid of that note because it's really just a byproduct of the labdanum. And labdanum is a listed note, and it's a type of resin that just has a leathery feel to it. But as you know, Bleu de Chanel is known for its mass appeal and its versatility. So it's not like they would have been crazy enough to put a really challenging animalic leather note inside of a Bleu de Chanel flanker. No, it's really easy to get along with. It's soft, it's smooth and clean. So just don't be afraid of that leather note. It's just a byproduct of the labdanum. But overall, this is such a beautiful fragrance. And like I said, it's so heavily concentrated. Nothing in the line is a real heavy projector, and this isn't either. It's a moderate projection, but it's super long lasting. One of the longest lasting designer fragrances on the market. And it has a nice heavy sillage because of that concentration. And it's the least versatile in the line, but I love it. 10 out of 10, Bleu de Chanel L'Exclusif.